Hello everyone, welcome back to our very own channel CA Dreams. I hope that you all are doing very good. So guys, as I have already uploaded a series of companies audit on this channel only, if you have not seen it yet, I'll drop the link in the description. You can just go and check. But before starting with the lecture, I have to make few points clear because there is a lot of confusion in students' mind, and that needs to be clear because not much time is left for November 2021 exams also. So first of all, from which book you have to study or what material is applicable for you. So for chapter number 5 and chapter number 10, you do not have to refer the new module. You just have to refer the chapters, the content that is given in your RTP. Okay, RTP November 21. So for chapter number 5 and chapter number 10 only I am telling you, you have to refer RTP November 2021, and in that RTP they have given the complete chapters along with questions. You have to refer that only. If you are referring your teacher's material also, just make sure that the content that your teacher is teaching you is from this only, November 2021 only. Okay, also if you are watching my lectures, as those lectures were recorded 6 months ago, so while watching those lectures you have to refer this material only. Though I don't think that any changes happened, but still for a safer side you have to study, you have to refer the content that is given in your RTP of November 2021. They have uploaded full chapters, they have included full chapters, chapter number 5 and chapter number 10 in this RTP. Okay, second point is that whether CARO 2020 is applicable or CARO 2016 is applicable for November 2021 exams. For May 2022 exams, institute has not clarified anything. So till any notification comes, we are going to study CARO 2016 only. But if any notification comes in future for May 2022, I'll upload a video on CARO 2020. Okay, but for now, for November 2021 students, there is a notification issued by the institute that they have mentioned it clearly that for all of you, CARO 2016 is only applicable. So if you have studied CARO 2020, then you can study CARO 2016 here. This video will be in English, and for the Hindi series also I'll upload it. Okay, the third point which I need to make it clear to all of you is that I have uploaded all the lectures for company audit. 3 topics were left. First is your cost audit, second was your CARO, and third was your joint audit. So I am going to upload this as series wise. Like this series will be for CARO, the second series will be for cost audit, and third series will be for joint audit. I myself don't know that in how many videos these topics will be covered, but there will be separate series on this channel only. Okay, so with this I hope that you are clear till here. And now we are going to start with the explanation in English for CARO 2016. So before starting with, let me just show you one duty which we have already read, that it was duty or disclosure to be made in the board report or duty to report. Okay, duty to report by the auditor. It was one duty that the auditor is supposed to report, duty to report. Okay, now we read here that the auditor is also required to report under clause 10 of para 3 of company's auditor's report order 2016 whether any fraud by the company or any fraud of the company by its officers or employees has been noted. So we discussed here that if the company is involved in fraud and CARO 2016 is applicable to that particular company, the auditor is required to report as per CARO 2016. Now how this reporting is to be done, we are going to discuss it in CARO 2016 topic. Okay, so reporting under company's auditor's report order 2016. So this first para basically talks about the applicability, or you can see the commencement. So they are saying that it was started on 29th March. That means with the continuance of company's auditor's report order 2015 that was issued on 10th April 2015, CARO 2016 came into applicability from 29th March 2016. Okay, so this is not that much relevant, you can just have a reading. Now from this I am going to start. So the order is not intended to limit the duties and responsibilities of auditors, but only requires a statement to be included in the audit report in respect of matters specified therein. Now if someone asks you that what is CARO 2016, why do you need to study CARO 2016? So students, we all are CA students and we all are future auditors, and when we will go for an audit or when we will prepare the audit report for any particular company, we have to disclose a lot of things. There are various disclosure requirements with which we need to comply with, and CARO 2016 is one of the disclosure requirements only. What happens is, to all those companies to which CARO 2016 is applicable, the auditor has to make certain disclosures or certain clarifications. Okay, there is a separate section that it says reporting under CARO 2016, and then we have to make various reportings, we have to make various disclosures, and that is mandatory. So that is why, because we all are future auditors, so that is why we have to study this. Okay, now what all are the companies to which CARO 2016 applicable? Is CARO 2016 applicable to all the companies, or is it applicable to only few companies? So in general, if we talk, CARO 2016 is applicable to every company, even it is applicable to foreign company. Okay, so CARO 2016 is applicable to every company, including a foreign company as defined in clause 42 of section number 2 of Companies Act 2013. But there are few exceptions to this also. That means to all these companies, CARO 2016 is not applicable. That means if I am going for audit of these companies, suppose insurance company, then I do not have to make any disclosure as per CARO 2016. Okay, so it is as simple as that. So what did we study till here? That if CARO 2016 is applicable to any particular company, the auditor has to make certain disclosures, and CARO 2016 is applicable to all the companies, including foreign company. But there are few exceptions, and what all are those exceptions, we are going to discuss it. But before that, before discussing with the exceptions, I'll give you one memory technique which you can note down, so that you can easily learn all the exceptions. So I'm just dictating, and you can note it down. So you have to write one small person, one small person, one small person. Okay, one small person of a private company went to bank and insurance company. One small person of a private company went to bank and insurance company. Okay, so this you can note it down as a memory technique. So this one statement will help you to learn all the points of exception to which CARO 2016 is not applicable. Okay, that means the exception to CARO 2016. So first point which I told you was one small person, so that means one. Okay, so CARO 2016 is not applicable to a one person company as defined under clause 62 of section number 2 of Companies Act. So if you have already studied law, you are aware of this, that OPC or one person company is defined under section number 2 clause 62 of Companies Act 2013. So if it is a one person company, CARO 2016 is not applicable. Then one small person, so small company also. So as per section number 2 clause 85 of Companies Act 2013, CARO 2016 is not applicable to any small company also. Okay, then I told you private. Now there are various conditions in private limited company. So what all are the conditions? First of all, what is a private company? A private company is that company which is not a subsidiary or even the holding of a public company. As you have already studied in law, if you have already read law, you must have studied that what is a private company. We have studied that all the holding, all the subsidiary, and all the associate of a public company will be deemed to be a public company only. So that is why CARO 2016 is not applicable to private limited company. Also, this company should not be a subsidiary or holding of a public company, because if it will be a subsidiary or holding of a public company, then it will be deemed to be a public company. Okay, so therefore they are mentioning it that it should be a private company, and also it should not be a subsidiary or holding of a public company. Okay, so if it is such case that it is not any subsidiary or holding of a public company and it is a private limited company, then CARO 2016 is not applicable. But here there are few conditions. The conditions are, first is that if the paid up share capital plus reserve and surplus of a private limited company is less than 1 crore, 1 CR, okay, so CARO 2016 will not be applicable. That means the total of paid up share capital plus reserve and surplus, or you can say the equity, should be less than 1 crore only. If it is greater than 1 crore or equal to 1 crore, then CARO 2016 will become applicable. Okay, so having a paid up share capital and reserve and surplus not more than 1 crore as on the balance sheet date. Not more than 1 crore means either less than or equal to. If it will be more than 1 crore, then CARO 2016 will become applicable. So it is less than or equal to. Okay. Then second point is that borrowings, the total borrowings should be less than 1 crore, should not be exceeding 1 crore. So second point is your borrowings should be less than or equal to 1 crore. So if it is less than or equal to 1 crore, then CARO 2016 will not be applicable. But if the borrowings of a private limited company exceed 1 crore, then CARO 2016 will become applicable. And the third point is that if the turnover, or you can say the total revenue, okay, the total revenue during the financial year which does not have a total revenue as disclosed in under Schedule 2 or Schedule 3 of Companies Act should be less than 10 crore. Total revenue should be less than 10 crore. So if the total revenue of a private limited company is less than 10 crore, then only CARO 2016 will not be applicable to it. But if the total revenue exceeds 10 crore, then what will happen? CARO 2016 will become applicable. Okay, so it is also not difficult. There are just 3 conditions to a private limited company. First was that if your paid up share capital plus reserve and surplus is less than or equal to 1 crore, or your paid up share capital should not exceed 1 crore. Okay, so your paid up share capital and reserve and surplus should not exceed 1 crore. Then your borrowings also should not exceed 1 crore, and your turnover should also not exceed 10 crore. Okay, so if these 3 conditions are followed, then CARO 2016 will not be applicable. But if any of the one condition is not fulfilled, then CARO 2016 will become applicable. Okay, so this point is very very important, mark it important, because you might get confused, and for your simplification you can just note these points in short, that paid up share capital plus reserve and surplus should not exceed 1 crore, borrowing should not exceed 1 crore, and your total revenue should be less than 10 crore. Okay, so I hope that I am clear till here. So what was my memory technique? It was one small person of a private company. The fourth point is company. So company that is licensed to operate under section number 8 of Companies Act. So what was Companies Act section number 8? It was the companies which were for not profit making. Okay, with the intention to not make any profit. So that were your section 8 companies. So if it is a section 8 company, then you do not need to apply CARO 2016 provision to it. Okay, then your second last point was your banking company, and last point is your insurance company. So if it is a banking company or if it is an insurance company, then CARO 2016 will not be applicable to these companies. But except all these companies, CARO 2016 is applicable to every company, including foreign company. Okay, So this was your applicability portion. I hope that you are clear till here. So this they have even given one chart. Now let's just discuss one example, and this example will help you to even get a better clarity that to what all companies is CARO 2016 applicable and to what all companies is CARO 2016 exempt. Okay, and also if you're facing any kind of doubt, you can feel free to comment down. I'll reply to each and every comment. Okay, so let's study or let's discuss the example. So example number 1, Educating Child is a limited company registered under Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. Now let's just recall what memory technique I gave you. One small person of a private company went to bank and insurance office, or you can say insurance company. So what was the word? Company, and that company was Section 8. Section 8 company. Okay, so all the companies which are registered under section number 8, CARO 2016 is applicable to them? No, CARO 2016 is exempt for them. Okay, so because it is a company that is registered under section 8, therefore the provisions of CARO 2016 are not applicable to educating child. Okay, so in the given case, educating child is licensed to operate under section number 8 of Companies Act. Therefore, CARO 2016 shall not be applicable to educating child accordingly. Okay, now in the second example, this is very important. Read it very carefully, because I also sometimes make in reading this example. That is why I am telling you to pay a lot of attention on this example. Ashu Private Limited has fully paid up capital in reserve and surplus of 50 lakh. Now this is a condition of private limited. Now there were three conditions in private limited. First was that your paid up share capital plus reserve and surplus shall not exceed 1 crore. Then your borrowings shall also not exceed 1 crore, and your total revenue should also not exceed 10 crores. So if these all the three conditions will be satisfied, then only CARO 2016 will be exempt, else CARO 2016 will become applicable. So in this case, Ashu Private Limited has a paid up share capital and reserve and surplus of 50 lakh. That means it is less than 1 crore. Now, during the year, the company had borrowed 70 lakh each from a bank and a financial institution. Now comes the point that is the point of actual discussion. So first of all, tell me, just answer it in your mind that whether this condition is fulfilled or not. Your borrowing should be less than 1 crore, whether this condition is fulfilled here or not. 70 lakh is less than 1 crore, that means CARO 2016 is not applicable. That means borrowings are less than 1 crore, right? So if this is your answer, then you are completely wrong. Why? Just read this statement, just read this line very carefully. They have written the company had borrowed 70 lakh each from a bank and a financial institution. That means this company has borrowed 70 lakh from a bank and 70 lakh from a financial institutions. So in this way, the total borrowings of the company becomes 140 lakhs or 1.4 crores. Okay, so because these borrowings are that means they are more than 1 crore. So therefore here CARO 2016 will become applicable because the second condition has not been fulfilled. Let us just have a look on the third condition also. The total revenue or the turnover should be less than 10 crore, and here this condition is satisfied. That means first condition is also satisfied here and third condition is also satisfied here. But because they have included this word each, therefore the second condition is not fulfilled here. Okay, so you have to read the question very carefully, because this small word has changed the whole answer. In your MCQ there will be the true or false, and you will just take on true or you will just take on false, and your answer will be wrong, and you will think that you are right, but actually because of this small word the whole answer has changed. So I am requesting you to please practice questions and also read all the questions very carefully. Okay, so because there is one word each, therefore this means that the company has borrowed 70 lakh each from both the bank and the financial institution. Okay, so In the given case of Ashu Private Limited, it has paid up share capital of 50 lakh, that is less than 1 crore, turnover that is less than 10 crore. However, it has maximum outstanding borrowings of 1.4 crore collectively from bank and financial institution. Therefore, it has exceeded the limit that was prescribed for exemption under CARO 2016. Therefore, it fails to fulfill the condition related to borrowings, and CARO 2016 shall become applicable to Ashu Private Limited accordingly. Okay. So we have, in this video we have discussed the applicability, that to what all companies is CARO 2016 applicable and what all are the exceptions. Now from the next video we will discuss all the matters. That means today I told you that to what all companies is CARO 2016 applicable. Now all those companies to which CARO 2016 is applicable, they have to make certain reportings in their audit reports. They have to include certain matters in their audit report if CARO 2016 is applicable to all the particular company. And what all are those matters, we are going to discuss it in the next video. I'll also show you the real audit report of Reliance Limited, where we will discuss all the points, and I'll also keep on showing you each and every point in the audit report also, so that you can get a better clarity. Okay, so if you are clear till here, then please do like this video and join me in the part 2 of CARO 2016. Okay, and also if you are getting benefited out of my videos, then do consider sharing my videos and please subscribe to this channel. Thanking you, and I'm ending this video here. We will continue with the next part in the next video. Thanking you. Thank you so much.